So in simple terms, we've got various questions, most of them about the same sort of thing, which is that the loss of revenue to the government with these new sort of policies, or shall we call it a strategy, is 700 billion. That's the shortfall, 700 billion rupees. And so many people are asking, where can you recover that 700 billion from? In simple terms, can you tell the people how the government will balance the books?
Yeah, that's what I always emphasize, that we need to think in financially literate manner. With the income coming down, what we should do is we should reduce the expenditure. So while keeping a loss-making big institutions, or while paying huge amount of money to public sector loss-making institutions, we can't reduce taxes. Why we reduce the taxes, or why we should reduce the taxes? Because public sector reform is essential. On the other hand, the cut down of government expenditure is essential. Keeping same government expenditure, you can't cut down the taxes. But if you reduce these wastages, corruptions, commissions, and particularly public sector loss-making institutions, I think we can go in future, because we are increasing day by day, every day, government expenses. Why can't we cut down? So we have to think in cost-wise rather than revenue-wise. Every people trying to match the income with the existing expenditure.
Yeah. You talk of cost-wise and revenue-wise. You've missed out one, political-wise. Because political-wise, for example, I don't know what the new chairman of Sri Lankan Airlines is going to do, but he, Ashok Pattarage, has inherited an airline which is top-heavy. Yeah. They've got, if you compare the numbers that is employed by Sri Lankan Airlines and compare that with the global average for a traditional airline, you will find that per passenger or per aircraft, Sri Lankan Airlines has got much more staff than the others. So how do you, but those are politically driven.
Yeah, that's the issue, that if we are going to continue this, we cannot cut the taxes. But why we cut the taxes, I think assuming the government sector reforms are essential. We need to go for productivity-oriented public sector. Keeping a white elephant, we can't reduce taxes. But if we are reforming public sector, we can go.
So basically the focus must be on
government expenditure.
Government expenditure.
Government expenditure.
How do you mix that with politics, Professor?
Yeah, it's a little bit
the
difficult.
The reason I ask you that is because, as I said, ordinarily, I suppose, today we could have, on this program, we could have spoken about President Trump, we could have spoken about Champika Ranawaka, partly Champika Ranawaka's matter, and we could also lamented the progress on the bond scam.
Yes.
And when we are talking about interest rates, and they're so high, we must remember that in 2015 they increased the interest rates artificially for no other reason than to make a quick buck, right, at the cost of people. So how do you, will this government have time? Will they be able to balance this sharp focus on the economy as opposed to the rest, like Partili and bond
the most important thing we all have to understand, particularly political parties in this country, must understand that giving employment opportunities in public sector, increasing salaries of public sector people will not provide votes for next election. Will not provide votes. I think it has proven in 2015 or even the last election, because election-oriented public expenditure people don't like in this country. That must be understood, I think, everybody. The political parties still thinking, if they are thinking that we can spend government money to win the election, I don't think it will work. And giving job opportunities will not work. They will give the job opportunity. After getting job, they are giving vote to other opposite side.
Okay.
So that they have to understand.
Right.
I think that's why we need to, I think we need to reform political parties' view in this country.
So we need
Still,
to-
traditionally they believe
Right.
if they give something from public sector, they can get the votes. That era has gone.
That is
That
gone,
era has
absolutely.
gone.
It has
That
gone.
era has
They-
gone.
because
So
people are now more
everybody-
focused on
more
delivery.
focused, delivery and rationalization, and what is happening in Sri Lanka, people are aware. Particularly social media, the even news, that everywhere people are talking that where we are going, where we are going.
But actually, when you say that on a philosophical note, that is it's a very Buddhist sort of principle, or a very ecclesiastical principle, because what you're saying is, look, they believe that if you give a vote, if you give them a job, you get a vote.
Yes.
But actually you're saying that culture is going away now,
Yeah.
because what people are doing is they take what is being given,
Yeah.
but they vote elsewhere.
Elsewhere.
So
That's
in a
right.
way, it's what religion talks about. It talks about you take the goodness from somebody,
Yeah.
and you don't take the bad.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening
But
here.
not only religion, but I think the Sri Lankan voter is now educated rather than earlier. That
So
is
they're
one
savvy.
thing.
They take this and say, well, that's good for me.
And the other thing, the media and the social media, all they now, I think during last couple of years, what I see as an economist, the economic matters have started discussing. Now,
Right.
more economic matters going into public. They know that these loss-making institutes, everybody agree that our public institutes have excess labor, more employed people. Everybody knows these things. So therefore that just giving some peanuts, I think we can't satisfy people now. So
Because
that
there
era
is
has gone.
It has gone, because there is a saying that if you pay peanuts, you will get monkeys.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the saying.
But yeah, that's the saying.
That's the
But
saying.
that doesn't going to be here now.
Indeed.
No more here. No more.
No
here.
more, no more. A new Sri
I don't
Lanka.
think. Yeah, New Sri Lanka, the people, because particularly we can see how the younger voters, their behavior, because they don't like irrational expenses, and they want to be government take the rational decisions, and they, of course, we are going in wrong direction if we go like this.
Right.
So therefore, it is a good sign of the economy. The economic matters we have to focus more. As you suggested, I think you did a great job today, starting and always talking on economic matters. We did a research earlier.
Yeah.
That is on last 6 months before the elections. Last 6 months we analyzed the news, airline, the all news we analyzed, and we understood that the time we allocated for economic matters, of course, is less, but it is increasing. But it is increasing. I think the media has bigger role to communicate with people more economic, business and matters rather than political, philosophical and individual matters. Now, when somebody take into custody, or when the judiciary process going in one way, we should not give more priority for that. What we have to give more priority for what is happening in the economy, what is happening into our wallet, what's happening into our day-to-day life. So when you compare with the advanced country media and Sri Lankan media, the difference is we are going behind politicians, we are going behind politics, we are talking nonsense rather than economic and business matters, which are important for people for their future planning.
Professor H.D. Karunaratne, thank you very much for your time.